Alright guys, so today we're going to talk about the quadratic formula. Hopefully you watched the other video that I had up on Canvas explaining what the quadratic formula is. That way this is not the first time you're seeing the equation. This right here is our equation. X equals negative b plus minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Whenever you guys are working out these problems, you want to go ahead and write that equation down. Always have it there visible for yourself. Don't try and do it through your memory. Have it written down so you can easily see it and easily be able to use it. So we're going to work out a few problems here. Hopefully this will help you understand how to use the quadratic formula for the problems that you're going to work. So, if you don't have a piece of paper out, go ahead and get one out now. If you don't have the quadratic formula down, pause this video right now and write it down. Let's go ahead and start on this first problem here. We got 2x squared minus x minus 3 equals 0. We are still working to solve for our x values, our x-intercepts. That has not changed. This is just another method that we can use to do that. So, first things first, you'll remember from your discussion board, we talked about identifying our A, B, and C. This now is what we're going to use that for. Our A value here, B value, and C value are all things that we're going to write down first. So I'm identifying my A, which is 2, my B, which is negative 1, and my C, which is negative 3. Now, I know all my A, B's, and C's. I can go ahead and put these in the correct spots in the quadratic formula. Honestly, guys, it's just plug and chug time. Just taking the number, putting it in the right spot. So, X equals negative my B value, which is negative 1, plus minus the square root of B squared. My B is negative 1 squared. Notice that I put that in parentheses so I know that negative 1 is being squared here. Minus 4, my A value, which we said is 2. And then my C value, which is negative 3. And this is all being put over 2A. Alright. Pause the video a minute if you needed to finish writing this down and fully process what we just put. That is a lot there. So here's the thing. Whenever you guys work with the quadratic formula, there are going to be a lot of numbers. But my suggestion is focus on just this part right here first. This right here is called your discriminant. Again, hopefully you watched the other video first and know now, hey, there's a purpose for this discriminant. The purpose is if you end up with a positive number here, that's going to tell you that you're going to have two solutions. If you end up with a negative number, you're going to have 0 solutions, no solutions. If you end up with 0 here, you're going to end up with only 1 solution. That's why it's good to go ahead and figure out what this number here is first so you can decide, do I need to go any further or not? So, what I'm going to do next is go ahead and kind of simplify everything. So I'm going to turn this sideways, make it a little bit easier to see. I have X equals negative 1 times negative. I am left with a positive 1 plus minus the square root. I have negative 1 squared, which is a positive 1. And then negative 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times negative 3 is 24. So I'm going to have a positive 24 here, all over 2 times 2 which is 4. Now, erase this to give me a little bit more space. What we want to do next is go ahead and finish simplifying this. This square root here, I now have 1 plus minus the square root of 24 plus 1, which is 25 over 4. Now I get a positive number, which tells me I will end up with 2 solutions. So I can go ahead and continue solving this. In your calculator, you want to put the square root of 25. I get x equals 1 plus minus 5 over 4. Now my last steps is I'm going to go ahead and split this up, where I'm going to have 1 plus 5 over 4 and 1 minus 5 over 4. I'm going to find out what both of those are equal to. 1 plus 5 is 6 divided by 4, which simplifies to 3/2, also 1.5 if you went to the decimal. On the bottom here, I'm going to get 1 minus 5, which is negative 4, over 4, which is negative 1. And that right there is both of my answers. Alright, there is your quadratic formula, and that is how it's used. I'm going to have some more videos to go ahead and practice this some more.